All right, man. Talk to talk. Like, share, subscribe to the page. Happy Sunday to everybody. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Yeah. So look, today's episode, we're gonna be talking about Whack 100 speaking on this new Kendrick lawsuit. I just wanted to jump in real quick. I meant to say TDE, not Kendrick. Kendrick isn't implementing this lawsuit at all, nor is anybody from TDE on the label. So I just wanted to jump in and say that real quick. I had made a mistake. Right before the actual Super Bowl and the Grammys is tonight. So before we get into that, I gotta get my legendary spill. This is Torture Talk. If you like the content, please consider subscribing. If you're new here, let me work for your subscription today. All the beautiful, single, sexy ladies, put one in the chat. All the fellas, you know where to find the ones at. Just don't harass them. I don't sell no merch, but I do have content absolutely free. But if you leave a donation, link would be in the description. Cash App, no more PayPal. They call me the Hidden Gem. I went from 1,300 subscribers to over 13, 14, 15,000. And yes, I am the king of the North. This is the Torture Talk show. I know it looks like after hours, but I'm doing something in my studio, so y'all know. All right, look. So let's get right to it, man. Let's get to the content. All right, so let's get it, man. Let's go.
What's the one thing you never heard that was never touched? And now I know you're reaching. You never heard there was any physical nothing that went on.
What's good, y'all? It's your boy, the Handsome Man. Somewhere Drake is celebrating. Academics having a little party. He said he knew about it months ago. He was just waiting for the bomb to drop. Man, let's get to the details of this TDE case.
That's the problem. And the people know that a lot of people brain, they can't just grab everything, especially with something like that. You gotta really.
All right, man. Here's the thing, man, and I'm just gonna go off on this one because I told y'all before I hate fake victims, man, and I hate fake victims. Let's be clear here. I hate when people play victim, man. If something happens to you, you need to tell right away. I don't care what nobody says. You should tell right away if something happens to you. You don't wait until the perfect moment to say something, because to me that means you have an agenda, and it's probably not as what you say it was. I mean, two things could be right at once. Somebody could be essayed, but in today's society, essay could mean anything. You can look at somebody a certain way and they'll say you essayed them. Let's be clear here. A lot of y'all be reaching for money or reaching for clout. You know what I'm saying? I just did an episode with some a woman who was overweight is suing the rideshare company because the guy denied her a ride. How about you lose some weight? And I'm not holding no more punches in 2025. It's not happening. The king is going to be the king in 2025. I'm not holding no more punches. That's it. You know what I'm saying? But all of this fake, they did this. I'm not neglecting anybody's, anything that happened to anybody. And I feel sorry for you if you did. And I apologize if that happened to you. But you can't wait until somebody's at a certain point in their life and then do something about it. I just don't see why this is even an argument. I think the court should start looking into things like this and saying, well, why you didn't report this then? Because I think a lot of people, they be like, well, I just didn't want to because I was afraid. Like, no. So you're not afraid now? What's the difference between then and now? You could have told right away. Like, come on now.
Read it and break it down. Like everything I heard, I pay attention to one thing. And that whole, what's the one thing you never heard that was never touched? And now I know you're reaching. You never heard there was any physical nothing that went on. This first thing I pay attention to. When we pay attention to Diddy and all these other, that's what we hear, right? So now when you take this right here and you really listen to what she's saying, first of all, the problem started. She said she wasn't paid, right?
And there you go. There you go. Whenever a female or some males, I mean, I ain't gonna say just females, whenever they don't get paid or they say they didn't get paid the proper money they was supposed to be paid, then they want to crash and burn the whole thing down as if something happens. Like, okay, now I know you got some type of vendetta because if you're saying you wasn't paid, if you're saying you wasn't paid, and then you turn around and claim that you was assaulted or whatever you want to call it, I think you have a personal vendetta because you knew you wasn't paid. And what does you have to be paid have to be what you get in assault? So you're basically saying if you would have got paid, you wouldn't have reported it. That's basically what you're saying. It's like, what we doing here? If something happened to you, then you should have reported it, whether you got paid or not. The payment will come later, or it'll come when it's supposed to come, or it might not come. But you told, and that's what you supposed to have did. If something happens to you, if something is a big deal to you, and you don't say nothing about it, then it ain't a big deal. That's how I look at it. From here on out, it's not a big deal. If something happened to me and I don't say anything about it, then it ain't as big as I'm saying it is. You know what I'm saying? Because if your house is on fire, you're not going to wait until tomorrow to tell the firefighters. You're gonna tell them right away. That's how I feel about everything. If your hair is on fire, you're gonna put your hair under the sink to put it out. You're not gonna wait until all your hair burns out and say, "Oh, a sense of urgency to me is in these things. You have to have a sense of urgency. If you don't, if you've been assaulted, that's a sense of urgency that you should tell right away. It shouldn't be I waited for 25 years and now I'm gonna say something. I'm not rolling with that. Sorry, I'm not rolling. No, absolutely not.
Now, so the first question I'm gonna ask is: was you contracted directly to TDE, or was you somebody that came through a temporary agency? It's the first thing I'm gonna ask, right? Because if you contracted directly to TDE, that's one thing. But if you come through a temporary agency, I think people get in these environments and start to say, "I work for TDE," right? If the temporary agency is R&B Enterprises, and R&B Enterprises calls you, Rue, and say, "Hey, we got a temp job over here at Top Dog Entertainment for you to go in here and do this, that, and other," it's gonna pay you $3,000 a month, right? You take the job, you go over there, right? You go over there, right? TDE ain't gonna pay you a thing, because TDE might be getting charged $4,200 a month from R&B Enterprises, right?
Now I understand exactly what he's saying. He's breaking down the if you saying you wasn't paid, he's breaking that down. He's saying, now I don't know how this whole contract thing works with this person, and I don't know how it works with this person. I don't know what the contract said. I don't know. But to me, the payment has nothing to do with the assault or the whatever you want to call it. It has nothing to do with that. You know what I'm saying? If you're using that, I wasn't paid, and then you reported that, yeah, to me, you got a hidden agenda. It's not so hidden no more, but let's keep it going.
Contract is from R&B Enterprises to TDE, and R&B Enterprises has subcontracted and sent you as the worker. So now I want to know, was you directly contracted to TDE, or was you contracted through another entity in which TDE paid and maybe they didn't pay, right? So first, I haven't heard no physical contact or none of that. Two, we don't know if you was contracted directly to TDE or an entity at TDE had a contract and you been subcontracted out. Three, you didn't put no dollar amount. See, ordinarily when a person don't include a dollar amount because they may be owed $278, but they know if they put that down there, people gonna look at it like, what the fuck are you talking about? Is that a discrepancy in some hours, right? Because if a an older person, 100,000, 20,000, 50,000, 1,000, 5,000, they're gonna put that in there, right? I don't see that.
That's 100% facts. You got to pay attention to stuff like that. If you don't put down a dollar amount, it could be $3. Could say, oh, they owe me some money. Listen, I'm telling you, I seen some crazy things in my life, and I used to work for a company, and I seen a guy literally try to sue the company for $5. You know what I'm saying? Because the company didn't pay him the $5 in gas that he was supposed to have got because he did something and he traveled somewhere extra for them. And he said, I'm taking y'all to Smalls. That was everybody's biggest thing back then. Smalls Claims Court. I'm taking y'all to Small Claims Court. Be like, for $5, dog? Yeah, it's the principal. Be like, oh, it's the principal? So you taking him to court for $5. Yes, it's the principal. You're going to pay more for the lawyer. So what? I don't care. It's the principal. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what people, back in the day was doing. So I know now people are a little more sophisticated and they do a lot more now. You know what I'm saying? So for this person to come out and don't say a dollar amount, it could be anything. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, it could be they feel like that. It doesn't mean that this is necessarily it. And this is an allegation. Let's keep it clear. This is an allegation. This is not something that is they went to trial and court and trial and they was found guilty and TDE is going under. It's like, no. This is what it is. But again, this is a weird time for this to happen. And I'm gonna get into this whole Ack and Drake thing in a second. Let's go.
Mm-hmm. 3, you mentioned everybody but the founder, which is who we know as Top Dog, right? So everybody else I see you mention are people that he's positioned within his companies. 4, you're saying you were coerced into drinking alcohol. Now, here goes the problems with open studio sessions. See, when you walk through the door, immediately to the right, there's always this little stand, and it got a tray on it. And on the tray, right, is usually liquors, Red Bulls, and juices, and little mints, and peanuts, standard, right? Now, when people come into the studio, right, anybody can go over there and get a water, get a Red Bull, pour a shot, or whatever. Nobody's really paying attention. I'm just going to be real with you. So when I hear you say you were coerced, I'm not hearing you saying this individual brought me some liquor and I was underage. Are you saying you were coerced because you were in a studio environment and you chose to go over there and pour yourself a drink?
And that's another thing too that I noticed that what people do. They try to make you responsible for their cups. You know what I'm saying? So because the studio had an open bar, in a way they're saying, well, I was coerced because it was there and I kind of felt like I had to do it because everybody was doing it. And I don't want to feel left out. I was pressured, even though the person probably never told you to do it. Nobody probably ever said that you should take a drink. But yet and still, you running over there, getting a drink, and then say, well, I was coerced into doing it. Listen, man. I seen people literally lie about stuff right to my face. I'm talking like lie. And they know the truth. I seen so many cases of people lying on the stand. Lying. They not even telling the truth. And the thing is, they didn't even have to lie. Because they wasn't going to even get in trouble. They could have just told the truth. But some people, they want to feel like the victim so much that they will literally put everything on the line just so they won't be wrong. Because in their head, they're right. And no matter what, I've seen women go against Jesus Christ because they want to be right. Even though they know it's wrong, they go against everything. Their whole Lord and Savior, just because they want to be right. I'm telling you. Because they don't want to be, they want to be considered a victim. Because if somebody say, well, you didn't have to take that drink. I didn't. I didn't have to take it, but everybody was drinking, so I felt like if I didn't drink, they was gonna look at me weird, and I didn't want them to look at me some type of way. No. See, Your Honor, she did feel like she was a victim because she was pressured because people was gonna look at her a certain way or look at him a certain way. Yeah, that's what this is. Exactly what this is.
Another thing is she was 15, 16, 17, or 19. I think her age would have been included because now it makes it look even worse. See, when they leave certain out, it's because it sounds better, right? Without putting in there the 20-year-old such and such and such and such in the month of May, although going to be 21 in July, right? See, whenever it's f***ed up, they're going to give you all the details because they want you to know it's f***ed up. When that came out against Diddy, they said 13-year-old. They didn't just say female was attacked. They gave her age. They gave all it. The other lady they supposed to flew in, they said 16-year-old, right? R. Kelly, they gave you an age. They weren't playing no games. So now
That's 100% facts. I definitely think that what they do is they manipulate the situation and get you on their side by saying, because the first thing when they say essay to a woman or whoever, when they say essay, automatically the person that they're accusing that did it, they automatically is looked at as a monster. And they notice these tabloids, these papers, these news outlets, these social media groups, everybody, they all know as soon as you say that this person was essayed, they automatically lose all credibility on the other side. They know that, or somewhat. You know what I'm saying? And here's the thing too about that. A lot of times you get people who just say that, or they'll say, well, I felt this way, and they can say, well, what did they say to you? And you can say, well, you know, they said this and that, and people can twist words because the thing is, when someone is talking to somebody, you don't know exactly how they said it, when they said it, where they said it. If it's them two talking, you don't know. We don't know. So we're going off of the word of somebody else against somebody else's word. I can say a woman, I could say, damn, you look, I could say, instead of saying damn, I could say, you look really good in that dress. Some people would take that as, oh, well, you're being a creep by saying that, right? Some people, and some women would be like, oh, thank you, I appreciate that, right? But you got some people, if you even say something like that, they look at it as like you said, oh my God, damn, you look good. Oh, girl, damn, look at that. That's what they look at it like you said it like that. Because society has made women feel like, and I'm going to be honest with y'all, society has made women feel like everything is through the lens of a monster if a man looks at him. You know what I mean? A man is going to look at a woman. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to go on this whole spiel about that. I'm just saying. A man is going to look at a woman if she's pretty, because that's what it is. In nature, we are. Now, you control yourself. You know what I'm saying? But for some people, even looking at them is assault to them. You know what I'm saying? Even commenting on them is kind of assault to them. You get what I'm saying?
we want to know, how old was she? Did she voluntarily go get the liquor that was over there? Because I believe at the age of 20, right, or even 19, that your know what you supposed to be doing and shouldn't be doing. Are they guilty? Are they guilty of having a security guard not standing over there by this tray, right? Because somebody have came in there that may want to take advantage of what's accessible, right? Are we gonna shoot? Are we gonna treat the liquor bottle as a firearm in a home around children? If that's what we gonna do, if that's your narrative you want to run, that got to be your narrative. But I believe a person at a certain age, right? And I'm going to personally tell myself, anybody from 18 on know what the they supposed to be doing and not supposed to be doing.
That's 100% facts. I co-sign that 100%. If you are of 18 years old, which you are an illegal adult, you know exactly what you're getting yourself into. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Most people at that age now, if you're 17 and under, don't come here. You know what I'm saying? Don't come here. I don't want to talk to you in no spaces. I don't want to. Don't even come to this establishment. Anything. You know what I'm saying? But if you're 18 and above, you know exactly what you're getting yourself into. And on top of that, you should know, you know what I'm saying, when you go somewhere, the dangers of something. You know what I'm saying? You should. Most people. Not saying everybody should know that, but a good portion of people. If you're going into a open studio where people, it's a public space, and you're telling me that you're not safe there, I don't understand that. You know what I'm saying? Some people at their job, they feel like they're not safe at their own job. Be like, oh, I'm not. I don't feel as I'm safe here. But I believe a lot of people use that as just to say something because a certain movement infiltrated a lot of these women's brains and putting them in this space in their head. Now, again, I'm not saying that it's all wrong. I'm not saying it's all wrong because things happen. 100% things happen. But the atrocities of others, you can't necessarily put it on you. Like, I watched a show called Pop the Balloon, right? And I noticed this is what a lot of people are stuck in, this tribalism thing, and they don't even realize it. But I watched this thing called Pop the Balloon. And a man is on there for a woman, right? And he's talking to a woman. And he's saying to her, he's saying to this woman here, I don't necessarily like your attire, or I don't like how you carry yourself, or whatever. You got 3 baby dads, whatever, right? And the other girl pops her balloon. But she don't got no kids. And then when he goes to her, he said, well, I was feeling you. And she says, well, I didn't like how you was talking to her. I didn't like that you said something about her 3 children or whatever. Where she has 3 kids, or 3 different baby dads. But you don't have that. And I'm on a show dating for the best for me. You know what I'm saying? And she says that. So what I'm saying is the atrocities of others, this is what people do. They glatch on to something and try to act as if like, oh, well, that applies to me too. So being above age, you should know, you see these things, you know what I'm saying? As an adult, you should know, or your parents should have taught you these things. And a lot of times you get people who are taught to blame, like point the finger instead of, talking out the situation. And I think that that's what happened. A lot of young females, they're not taught to actually, what's the name? They're taught that everything is SA to a certain extent. If it ain't extreme, it's and don't get me wrong, SA is extreme, but some of them take it as, if you look at them, that's SA. So they take that into consideration and they say, well, I can equate this with this. And they try to put things together. You know what I'm saying?
They're trying to say that they were coerced into drinking.
But I'm saying, but okay, they never said they were offered. They never said they were forced, right? So now we gotta ask ourselves: are you playing games, word games, right? Because if you were forced, right, y'all would say that, right?
Right.
You would said I was forced, or I was offered.
Yeah, because she said that she was that she described an incident where she was coerced into consuming alcohol while underage.
These girls jump on here, man. They use these words. All right, I'm not gonna pick on her. I'm just saying, you were coerced in what way? How? How would you coerced? Did someone give it to you? Did it, you know what I mean? Did someone say to you, hey, take this drink? You know what I'm saying? Like, but again, we're talking about lawyer talk because lawyers use those type of words when they don't really have any definitive evidence, anything. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna tell you right now what this is. All this is. All this is this is a shakedown, bro. You gotta understand how this works. Most of these people, these people go get lawyers, and these lawyers trying to just get money. They'll get you a lot of money and they'll make a lot of money. That's what it is. If a lawyer tells you, if you've never seen $200,000-$300,000 in your life, and the lawyer tells you, I can get you up to 500,000, right? You most likely would probably say anything that the lawyer tells you to say and won't feel bad about it. But the thing is, you will play that line because if no one did anything to you, people can make you believe that something happened to you, even if it didn't happen. Because they'll say, well, you didn't know. They were playing mind tricks on you. They were doing these things to you. They was playing these tricks on you. You know, they had an effect on you that you couldn't get around that. He said this to you and that kind of deeply hit you and you didn't even realize it. And the next thing you know, you're like, you're right. You're absolutely right. And that's what they do. That's exactly what they do.
Wow, that is a strong word.
Right.
Right? That says an unwilling person. Mm-hmm. Something by use of force and threats.
Right.
Right? So that means somebody forced you or threatened you if you don't do this or else, or here you better do this.
That's right? That's what they said.
Now, if that's the case, you say you were coerced, which means you were threatened and forced. You got to show us that. You got to show us where you was threatened and where you was forced.
That's 100% facts. In 2025 and beyond, you have to show us where you were forced, or you have to put it out how you was forced or whatever. All this, I was coerced and we don't know if you were actually coerced. Nah, we not rolling with that no more. At least I'm not. I'm not rolling with that no more. All these fake victims, I'm not rolling with y'all. No more. If you don't report it right away and you don't put it out there that something happened to you, I'm not going to say I'm going to sit here and disrespect you about it, but I'm really not going to take it that serious. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not. I'm not taking it that serious. I don't care if you say, what the what? No. Like I said, use the hair on fire theory. If your hair was on fire, you putting it right out, right away. You ain't going to wait 6 months or till all your hair burn out. No, you're not doing that. Not no more.
How long ago did this happen? Where were you when this happened?
Right.
You notice we never heard anything about his text message communications, or she received phone calls about this, that, or the other. So now we got to make sure this is maybe, are you one of the individuals that maybe was working there and on the 89th day, like a temporary agency does, maybe let you go and you maybe tried to double back because you felt everything was buddy. They might have gave you a few compliments here and there because technically you grown if you're over a certain age, and maybe the offer wasn't extended or the opportunity wasn't extended, and you sat back and a couple years later you got mad. We want to know. It's too many holes in it. We want to know. We want to know where you were when this happened. We want to know if you were amongst other people. We want to know, did somebody force you or threaten you to drink liquor? It never says no physical anything happens. So we just want to know. Right? I see this and I think it should be some type of law against this because they got Jay-Z the same way. So it's just some holes in it. We want to know where you were at, how old you were. Was it an open bar situation? And I believe if these were the things that actually happened, they would have included these details.
All right, y'all.
That's 100% facts. They would have. They would have included those details. All right, so here's the thing, right? We all know that this lawsuit is not implementing Kendrick, but since it's surrounding TDE, it makes Kendrick look a certain way. And I'm going to explain why. The reason why is because Kendrick is and was TDE's biggest artist, right? We all know that whenever Drake or whoever says anything, it's directly going to tie to Kendrick, even though it's not Kendrick. I seen headlines where it says TDE allegations, lawsuit, whatever, but it had a picture of Kendrick. Now, Kendrick's not signed to TDE. We all know this, but this is the reason why. Because if Drake or whoever, OVO, whoever can paint something on Kendrick, even if it has nothing to do with Kendrick, they're going to do that. Trust and believe. They're going to do that. So if TDE is being painted in a bad light, well, who was the biggest artist or who was the biggest artist over there? It was Kendrick. So automatically, when you think of TDE, you're thinking of Kendrick. This is what people are going to do. I'm just keeping it real. That's what people are going to do. They're going to automatically point the finger at Kendrick, even though he had nothing to do with it. That's what they do. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to say that because a lot of people are saying, well, why is Kendrick here? Or why did Kendrick has nothing to do with this? We all know Kendrick has nothing to do with it. That's a no-brainer. We know that Kendrick has nothing to do with it. But we also know that people will use anything to get at anybody at any time, especially when it comes to this. But Drake and Kendrick. Make sure y'all go subscribe to The Answer. They would have included those details, man. If you're not including those details, all right, let's be clear here, man. I'm tired of playing this game with people, man. I'm just gonna be straight up honest with y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all, and this might not seem like it relates to this, but it does. And a lot of y'all might understand what I'm saying. A lot of y'all might not, but workplace relationships happen all the time. And let's be clear here. When people are upset, they're going to blame something on you because they're mad. You know what I'm saying? Or they don't get their way. This does not exclude people this does not basically put the blame on people who really go through something. Because there's things that happen. But I'm telling you right now, most 90% of things happen at work is most likely, how would I say this? Is most likely voluntarily. You know what I'm saying? Volunteered. Most likely. Let's be honest, because a lot of y'all don't want to be honest about it. We be out here acting as if like our boss or certain people coerced us into doing things. No, you wanted to do it. Don't sit here and act like you didn't. You wanted to do it. You know what I'm saying? Because some of y'all want to get ahead, whether male or female. Doesn't necessarily mean it has to be all females, because men do things too to get ahead. Trust me, I know. Trust me. So when you sit here and say, oh, you were coerced into doing things, a lot of times y'all do it because y'all want to do it. And then when you don't get your way, then you use it against somebody. That's what it is. Most of y'all be having husbands at home and wives at home, and y'all still be doing stuff at the job. Having sex in the break room. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. In your car, getting head, kissing people in the bathroom. You know what I'm saying? So don't sit here and act as if like these things doesn't happen at the workplace, because it does. And assault happens too. That happens. But a good portion of y'all do it because y'all want to do it. And then y'all get mad when it gets when shit hits the fan. You know what I'm saying? Or when you feel like you can do something, you don't get me. Watch. If they don't give me what I asked for, watch this. Watch what I do. You know what I'm saying? That's what y'all do. Don't get here. Don't act like, and again, don't sit here and act as if I'm saying that things happen. Things don't happen at the job, because there's people who do get assaulted at the job and they don't say nothing about it. That does happen. But I'm saying a good portion of y'all be going into it wanting to do it. And y'all trying to pretend with them. I'm not pretending no more. I'm not pretending, no. I know firsthand, I've been at several jobs and I've seen several women and men cheat on their husbands and wives and turn around and act as if they were the victim. I've seen it happen. So it is what it is. But thank y'all for joining me this morning. Appreciate y'all. I just had to come in, pop in, do an episode. Y'all already know tomorrow, episode 12. It's 8, 12, and 6. And, after hours, make sure y'all check it out. I'll be back in the studio tomorrow. All right, man. See y'all. Peace. Bye.